A poet once wrote, "I was with my Lord in the highest sphere, and the fall of Lucifer into the depths of hell. I know the names of the stars from north to south. I was at the place of the crucifixion of the merciful Son of God. I am a wonder whose origin is unknown. I have suffered hunger for the Son of the Virgin. I have been fostered in the land of the deity. I have been teacher to all intelligences. And I shall be until the day of doom on the face of the earth."
Mr. Servius.
Who's asking?
We have orders to bring you in, sir.
Didn't your mother ever teach you to say please?
We have been authorized to use force if necessary.
Really? Well, it's been a while, but...
Sorry about that. You never be too careful.
Don't worry, boys. You can tell your boss you at least winded.
He is everything I imagined.
Caleb, my brother, do you really think this is wise?
Relax, Vincent. If he can be persuaded to join us, he could be a great asset. And if not, well, Cypherians are not without their weaknesses.
Caleb, don't get ahead of yourself. We don't even have the girl yet. A being with this kind of power is not going to be easily swayed. He could easily reduce you, me, or this world to the ashes.
Or it could be the key to our salvation.
What's so funny?
The man makes one trip to the pit and now he thinks he's seen it all.
Can't take this anymore. What has taken so long?
Relax, Gabe. He'll be here.
What was that little stunt this morning? What are those two idiots trying to do? Provoke him back into hiding?
True. Their actions may have been a bit premature. Servius is smart. You would think that our sudden interest in him after all these years would spark some notion of curiosity. See what I tell ya?
Next time, just tell me where to find you. Don't send the help. So, Gabe, this must be pretty important for you to come all the way down here and be in the same room as Lucifer.
Let's just say your services are in great demand these days.
What is it? Another angelic war?
Now I'm starting to remember why I like this guy.
We're here to ask for your help again, Servius.
You two have some nerve. I thought even he knew better than to ask for my help again.
We understand this is hard for you to accept.
I gave up everything to protect his only child. I watched his son grow up against real evil. And for what? Only to be forsaken by the same people he and I swore to protect.
We didn't come here to talk about the past. Something is happening, Servius.
Another will be born into this world. One that will change the course of human history forever.
To the best of our knowledge, no one, from either above or below, had any hand in the creation of this child.
Even I have to admit I wouldn't have taken such a chance in these times. The world is teetering on total chaos.
Sounds like it'd be right up your alley.
Hey, I may want management privileges someday, but I still want in one piece.
So what? You guys want another babysitter? Huh? No thanks.
Fine. If your Cypherian won't step up, then I guess you'll have to let my side handle this.
What? You got a new representative? Who is it? Two little errand boys in the park?
No. Since you killed my last representative and disappeared, I haven't been allowed to recruit. However, if I had a choice, those two would be at the top of my list. Vincent and Caleb Wallace. Their family line has devoted many lifetimes to tracking you down.
They are aware of the child. They will undoubtedly use the child in hopes of manipulating you. It is time to come back, Servius.
Or you could just leave the up to me. Let me take a crack at this one.
You remember, Morningstar. You might be the king down there, but up here you're just another fairy ready to get its wings. Who is she?
Her name is Amy. She's a rape victim living in a shelter downtown. Now it's only a matter of time until they approach her directly.
Sorry, boys, but you really gotta work on your pitch.
Hey, watch it!
You gotta be kidding me.
Can I help you with something?
And we're off to a good start.
Look, I wasn't following, I just happened to go in the same direction.
Yeah, right. You guys always think you can prey on the single moms, huh?
You got quite a mouth on you. It's new. I'm sorry if I scared you.
You at child services or something?
You could say that.
Look, I'm doing fine. You guys don't have to keep bothering me. I've decided to keep the kid. Doesn't deserve to grow up in the system. I'm sure you're just doing your job, but I've made up my mind.
Look, just wait a second. I can't work with mothers, seriously.
Hello, Amy.
What the hell is going on?
Please, don't be frightened. I just want to have a little chat with you.
Who are you?
Just someone who wants to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, well, the last guy that wanted to make my acquaintance left me with this little bundle of joy. Now get away from me.
Please. Let's not make a scene.
Hi there. So you're Caleb Wallace.
And you must be Mr. Servius Augustus Syracuse. Pleasure. Finally meet the legend.
I think it's time to get out of here.
Another time, Miss Amy.
Okay, what was that?
Long story. Look, Amy, what I'm about to tell you isn't easy for me to say, so I'm just gonna come out and say it. The child you carry is destined for greatness.
Okay, you need to walk away from me before I call the cops.
I'm serious. I'm here to help you. Your name's Amy Elizabeth Patton. You're named after your grandmother. She's the one who gave you that necklace. Your parents raised to be a wise and self-reliant kid who might make something of herself. When it came time to tell him that little bundle of joy, he failed to mention it was the result of a rape.
How did you know about that? I never told anybody.
They didn't take the news too well, did they?
I don't know who you think you are, but they were thrilled. So thrilled that they disowned me and kicked me out of the house. Raped or not, it wouldn't have mattered to them. You want to help? Go back in time and stop the guy who did this to me. Otherwise, stop following me.
Please don't struggle.
She's quite a handful, isn't she?
She can't handle this game. It's too big for someone her age. She has no idea what her child has to look forward to.
But you do.
This is different. Mary at least had a loving husband. This girl, she has no one.
She has you. She needs you now more than ever.
What's happened?
Caleb's brother Vincent snatched her shortly after you left.
How could you let this happen?
You know the rules, Servius. We can't interfere directly, only influence. That's why your kind was created. Question is, are you willing to take up the charge you once abandoned?
Today marks a very special occasion in my family's history. I never thought I would live long enough to truly see what he's capable of. My brother, he thinks I'm blinded by my ambition. He almost had me convinced that controlling Servius was a fool's errand. No matter. Now that he has something to protect, Servius is vulnerable.
You humans, you never cease to amaze me. Do you think what you saw today is any indication of what his kind is truly capable of? Servius is not just some altar boy. He's been roaming this earth for over 2,000 years, and before that, he was a great military leader. He's been blessed with both strength and intelligence.
Now, boys, is that any way to treat a mother-to-be?
Gabriel has always chosen his Cypherians wisely.
Well, then I would say you've been unfairly represented for far too long. Wouldn't you agree?
I would.
Then let me offer my services as your next Cypherian.
Make me proud, Cypherian.
And we shall be, until the day of doom on the face of the earth.
Hi, my name is DK Johnston. I'm the writer, director, and editor of the Cypherian. The concept for the Cypherian kind of came about in high school. I've always been a big fan of anti-heroes. And I always said they have like kind of the best character arcs throughout stories because they come from being very selfish and only caring about themselves, and really throughout the stories they learn to care about others, and they learn to rise above and actually accept to be a part of something larger than themselves. But Servius really came from, like, it was developed over the years where he was just this one anti-hero type that I really liked. And he always kind of had these powers, but I never really had any basis for where he got them, and coming up with his backstory. And eventually we added the religious aspect to it, which I thought was a great, kind of classic good versus evil battle. During my master's program is when I finally got the chance to implement it, and the Cypherian was born. Each student is given a week to put together a film just under 15 minutes with a maximum of 20. And this was like the biggest, kind of largest scale production I'd put together. We shot it all in about 6 days. We had, I think, some pickups on day 7. But pretty much everyone who worked on the, or no, not pretty much everyone who worked on the film did it for free on volunteered time. And the entire crew was made up of local film students as well as people who were just trying to get into the industry. So, you know, we really were fortunate to catch a lot of these people when they were early on and just getting started. The casting process was actually one of the funnest parts, because I really wanted to find someone who could embody the Servius character. And we went through about 3 different casting sessions with at least 20 to 25 different people reading for the role of Servius. And Chris Corbin was actually one of the last people we saw. And the opening poem in the film, which is actually a quote from a poet called Taliesin, he's like a 4th or 6th century Scottish poet. We had them read that opening for us in the casting session, and Chris came in and just absolutely nailed it. I remember turning to my casting director and my wife and saying that, like, that's him. We have to have him. Like, there is no question about it. Casting Amy was probably the hardest thing, because we were looking for someone who could play young, but we got a lot of actors who were applying who were actually underage. But Maddie really came in and just nailed it, and we had her read specifically with Chris during the casting process, and their chemistry together was so fun to watch because of how, you know, he's incredibly tall, she's incredibly short, and she really commanded the room when we were going through rehearsals. But that was a real fun experience. I wanted people to, like, root for them to kind of be that hero and heroine kind of duo that the audience would really enjoy watching. In a feature-length version, which is kind of the idea behind the short. The logo for Tri-7 Pictures and the pendant that Servius wears are one and the same. The design was actually done by my mother-in-law, Carol Vanderweg, who has been making her own jewelry for a number of years, and she came up with this great kind of Trinity pattern, which was very reminiscent of the Celtic, and then the curls were something that you saw a lot in Druidic and Wiccan, and kind of our early ancient writings in Egyptian. And then the stones specifically that's on the pendant are like onyx stones, like each one represented either strength or protector, trying to draw inspiration for what kind of symbol would represent this this being who'd been around since the beginning of time. So when my wife and I founded Tri-7 Pictures during the production, we decided to make that pendant our logo, and it's because it's very unique, and it's been a great showcase to what we've done in the past.
You humans, you never cease to amaze me.
The life of a film like this, I found, especially today in kind of the modern age when you know people can make these kind of films and upload them and show them everywhere. It's really not hard. Like, the life of these films is actually extended from where it was maybe 10, 15 years ago, where you shot something on 16 millimeter, and you could throw it out into a couple of film festivals, but you really weren't. And if it didn't get it picked up, then that's maybe your friends and family only went to saw it. But in today's age, you can who you can reach is almost unlimited. The filmmaking scene here in Alaska has grown immensely over just like the past 6 years. I've been doing small film production, snowboard videos, and short films since 1999 when I was back in high school, where it was just a few friends, 5 or 6 of us, going out and filming each other snowboarding or snow machining. Eventually, those guys got sponsors, and we put together larger productions for them. But since the incentive is passed back in 2008, the indie filmmaking and the local filmmaking scene here is practically exploded. A lot of us who kind of grew up together making these kind of films, because kind of as a fun hobby, are now doing it full-time professionally. And we've got the Open Projector Nights, which over the last year has brought out a whole slew of filmmakers. We're able to fill almost 120 minutes worth of short films with absolutely no problem. I think it just goes to show that the generation of filmmakers up here who were just doing it as a hobby now are serious about perfecting their craft, and have done so very well over the last couple of years.
If you have a film that you'd like to see broadcast on public television, consider submitting it today. Short stories, animations, documentaries, and experimental films will all be considered. For details on how to submit your work, visit kuac.org/akshorts.